email works. So the same slider from where we have to start. Have we covered this all? Web-based mail and all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. We'll start with so how email works. So as we already know that email is nothing but an electronic mail in which we used to send letters, kind of sending the letters electronically, and that is what our email is. Why we are using email? Because it is much faster and convenient and also reliable to send one message from one place to another because it will be done in fractions of seconds. Whereas if we send a letter from using post office or something, it takes a lot of time to reach to the destination. So because of the need only this all has been invented. So now how does it work actually? So see, whenever we talk about internet, we have a protocol which is being used with internet. So that is like TCP/IP. So whenever we talk about internet, by default TCP/IP comes into the picture. If we talk about www, then HTTP comes into the picture. Similarly, whenever we will be talking about email, there are three protocols which you should be knowing about. So one is your SMTP protocol, another one is POP3 protocol, and one is your IMAP, which I haven't mentioned into the slide, but you can just make a note of it. So the three protocols are being used when you transfer your mail from one place to another. So what actually happens when you create a mail and as you press a send button from your node, that mail will be sent into the server with the help of your SMTP protocol. So SMTP protocol is used here for sending your mail and taking care of your mails while sending from one place to another. So from as you press send button from here, the mail will release and the mail with the help of SMTP protocol will go to first your mail server. After from the mail server, when it reaches to the mail server, then from there it will go into the internet. And now internet is having already a TCP/IP. So TCP/IP will handle your protocol, handle your mail, and it will hand it over to SMTP protocol. So once it is with SMTP protocol, it will just given to its destination server, which is a mail server again. And from there, whenever the system is on and it's connected to internet, at that moment of time, this mail will be delivered to the machine. Now, when this mail from server to your machine will be delivered, they will be using POP3 protocol. So in all the process, SMTP protocol will only be used, but while discussing about the delivery of the mail on your own node, we will be using POP3 protocol. Instead of POP3 protocol, we can always use IMAP protocol also. So I'll tell you how and when to use POP3 and when to use IMAP. Who is this Anjana and Srinivas? Any idea?
That's Anirudh, ma'am.
Why did he change
That's
his
Anirudh's mom's
father and
number.
mother's name? Okay. Okay, so we'll just read it once. How does it been sent? Like email created using email client program. Now, email client program could be your Microsoft Outlook or your Mozilla Thunderbird, or you can use web-based mail like Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail. Any one of them can be used. Now, after you create your mail, you compose your mail, then you will press of send button. It is first delivered to sender's mail server. So as you press here, it will first go to the mail server. So actually the communication is between server to server. So it will be sent between the mail server with the help of SMTP. Now SMTP stands for your Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, which further transmits the same to the internet to the recipient's mail server. So that will transfer even the mail to the recipient mail server. Now, whenever the recipient's email client program inbox is open, that means whenever the machine will be turned on and your internet is connected and you're opening your Gmail or Outlook, anything, at that time, the email will be delivered to the inbox through the POP3 POP3 protocol. That means to the post office protocol, the email will be delivered to your node or your system, which user will read in the email client program, which you can access in your email client program. So this is actually how email works. Now there are three protocols used over here. One is your SMTP, another is your POP3, and third one is your IMAP. So we'll just see how this SMTP works over here, or what actually the function of SMTP is. So here is our SMTP. So what SMTP is all about? SMTP first of all stands for your Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It transfers your mail from one user to another. That means from here to here. Also, it is said to be as a push protocol. Why it is a push protocol? Because our mail has been pushed from our side to the receiver's side. And that is why it is also said to be as a push protocol, because we are pushing our mail from here to the recipient side so that they can receive it. So SMTP is said to be as a push protocol and is used to send the mail to the email server. Like from here, it is sending it to the email server, and from then this server, it is sending it even to the recipient server. So it is usually with one of the two protocols. Now, when it sends over here, its purpose is all done. So SMTP stands for your Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is also said to be as your push protocol because it sends your mail from your machine or from sender's machine to the recipient's mail server. So this is the only function of SMTP. It takes care of the mail by the time it reaches to the recipient's mail server. Once it has been reached over there, there is no more need of an SMTP. One more thing is over there that an alternative to SMTP that is widely used in Europe is X.400. Now see, generally people uses SMTP but similar functionalities but with different name. X.400 has been used into the Europe most widely. Now, many mail servers now support extended simple mail transfer protocol, which allows multimedia files to be delivered. What happened when we using SMTP? It was just only for mail sending purpose. That is like a text kind of conversation or some attachment, but it is a just text kind of files to be sent from here. But nowadays, mail has been used for all the purposes, like for sharing the videos, for sharing the medias, anything. So that's why SMTP's extended version is coming, and that's why they are naming it as Extended Simple Mail Transfer Protocol (ESMTP), which is having all the functionalities same as SMTP, but with additional functionalities added, in which it allows multimedia files to be delivered. So that's what your SMTP is all about. So it has only 3 to 4 points to remember. One is its full form, then what is its function is that it transfers our mail to the recipient's mail server. And just because of that, it is also said to be as a push protocol. It can never be used alone. It is always used with two of the another protocols, that is your POP3 and IMAP, because they are responsible for delivering the message. So it cannot be used ever alone. Before it was used only for the text kind of mail, but now with the help of extended SMTP, they can even share the multimedia files from one system to another system. So that is how your SMTP works. Then what about POP3? So actually POP3 and IMAP are two of the protocols which are like alternatively used. Means if POP3 is been used, IMAP will not be used, and IMAP is used, POP3 will not be used. So POP3 first of all stands for your Post Office Protocol version 3, and IMAP stands for your Internet Message Access Protocol. IMAP, again repeating, stands for your Internet Message Access Protocol. You should remember the full form of all the abbreviations which have been used. So for POP3, what actually it is? It is a simple standard mail protocol used to receive emails from a remote server. Now, remote server here says that it is not at your own nearby your machine, but it is quite separated from, it is quite available at not your place, but somewhere else, separated by a physical distance between both of the systems. So that's why they're saying remote server. That means not at our place, but it is at some another place which we are accessing from our place. So what it is saying that it is a standard mail protocol used to receive emails from a remote server to a local email client. Now, what does this mean, local email client? Local email client says that whatever the email client do you have at your local, that means on your system. Whatever the email client you're using on your system, that means kind of like Microsoft Outlook, or can be a Gmail or anything, whatever you're using for it. So that's what your POP3 says, that it is actually used for receiving the email from a remote server to our own machine. Then Even IMAP do the same. Then what is the difference between both of them? IMAP is also used to receive emails from a remote server to your machine or to your email client. So the difference comes over here. POP3 allows us to download email messages on our local computer and read them even when we are offline. So POP3 functionality says that you can just download all the email from the web server and can put it locally. Suppose if somebody has sent me a file and if I download it, will it be available again for me to download from there? So that it would be like the file is like on my own system now. And if you want to access it from any another system, that would be difficult because it is now downloaded locally on my file. So that's what they're saying, that if POP3 allows all the mail to download on your machine. So if all the mails are downloaded on your machine, if you want to access it from somewhere else, you cannot do so because the mails are already downloaded on your machine. And now they're available only on your machine, and that is too offline. That means no internet connection is required. So that is what is the purpose of POP3. It helps you, or its functionality is to download the email on your local computer and read them whenever you want without the help of internet connection. So note, when you use POP3 to connect to email account, messages are downloaded locally and removed from the email server. Actually, the problem is they are also removed from the email server. So if they remove from the email server, and suppose I go to some another place and I want to just check my emails, then in that case, it won't be possible for me to see my older mails which are already downloaded on my local machine because it is not available on the Gmail server now. If I'm using Gmail, it is not available on the Gmail server now. So what to do if it is already downloaded? So that's a drawback for it because I cannot access it from some another place, but I would have to access that mail from my system only where it has been downloaded locally. Obviously, the new mails are there, and as you will get connected to the net, the new mails will get downloaded to your system, but not the older ones you will get. You will get the older ones only on your local machine where it is downloaded. So that's why it has pros and cons both. But if you remember, I have just shared yesterday a screenshot of Gmail settings. So actually nowadays what they have even enabled the option that if you want, even after downloading, you want a copy to be kept on the Gmail server, it can be done so that you can access it from anywhere other than your local machine also. So now it's not a problem, but before when we are using POP3, its main functionality is to download and so that you cannot get the mails afterwards on your mail account. So what is the plus point with this? That you do not need any internet connection for accessing the messages which are already downloaded. And second thing is that since everything will be removed from your email server will be having now space to get the more mails. Like every email server is giving you a fixed allotted space. Like if I talk about Gmail, it gives you 15 GB of space. So soon a day will come when your 50 GB will get over. And then you would have to delete your mails to receive further mails. So in that case, it is not the problem with POP3 because it automatically removes it from the email server. The process there, cons is there, but one main disadvantage is there, but actually if it removes from the mail server, we cannot access it from anywhere else. So that is what IMAP has also IMAP came into the existence, that actually IMAP is there which doesn't actually downloads the mail, but it keeps the copy of a mail always on the email server. It never downloads it from anywhere, but it always keeps the copy on mail server. Like we access Gmail from anywhere in the world. Yeah, like Yahoo Mail, Reddit Mail,
Ma'am, we
everything
can't see
can be
your
accessed from
screen, ma'am.
anywhere. Yes.
Ma'am, I can't see your screen.
Why?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we also can't see your screen.
Oh, now
Okay, now it's visible.
You cannot see my screen?
Yes, now it's visible.
Now
There
it's
was some green
But it
something
was
on.
already shared.
some
I can see your screen is shared.
some glitch was there which caused your screen green means for us it was green. Now it is visible.
Okay, fine. Okay, so coming on to IMAP, IMAP is also a protocol which works in the same way, but the only difference from the IMAP is that it doesn't actually download your mail. All the mails are always available on the web server, sorry, the Gmail server. So whenever, from wherever you want to access it, you can always do it. Like we do it from any device, we can go to gmail.com and all the mails are available over there. So we can always go with that facility. It depends on you which do you want to use, POP3 or IMAP. Both have the same functionality except POP3 allows you to download. And also now they have anyway upgraded the POP3 with the functionality that even it's your choice if you want to keep the copy of the mail into the web server or web mail also. So that was what your all POP3 and IMAP was about. Any doubts with POP3 and IMAP or SMTP?
Ma'am, what was the full form of IMAP?
IMAP stands for your Internet Message Access Protocol,
Okay.
and POP3
And
stands for your Post Office Protocol version 3, and SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and Kathit HTTP stands for
What, ma'am?
HTTP stands for
Hypertext transfer protocol.
okay, and
Transmission.
Nishank TCP stands for Nishank.
Yes, transmission control protocol.
Okay, Parinika IP stands for
Internet Protocol.
URL stands for Divyam. Divyam. Divyam is there. Anyone else? URL stands for
I'm there,
Uniform
ma'am.
resource. Uniform resource relocator.
okay. And Avni, DNS stands for
DNS stands for Domain Name System.
okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so coming on to the next application. So by the time we have covered our www, that is World Wide Web, and application. First application was www. Second application we have covered was our email, and third we are going to use our chat. Now chat is a very simple application. Like even I'm talking to, it's kind of chat only. So chat is what, but nothing. It's some other method for internet conversation. It enables people connected anywhere on the internet to join in live discussions. It allows many users to join in the same free-form conversation, usually centered around a discussion topic. You can write it in your own language. What do you feel like? What is chat? How do you communicate? So chatting is nothing but just a way of communicating with one another over the internet. It can be in the form of text, it can be in the form of nowadays video messages, it can be in the form of GIF. So there are so many ways in which the chat can be done. Even the chat can be this time, like it can be through video conferencing, through voice over internet protocol. But for here in this chat, you would have to include about your text messages and your messengers only, not your video conferencing and your voice call. So how does this works? It works actually. The main thing over here is that whenever we talk about chatting software, it also has a chat server. As we have a Gmail server, sorry, mail server. In the similar way, whenever we talk about chat, they have a chat server, and everything is managed by the chat server. And the chat server's name is not the name, but the protocol who actually manages is all is your Internet Relay Chat Protocol. Like for email, we were having SMTP and POP3 and IMAP. Similarly, for chatting, we have Internet Relay Chat Protocol. IRC protocol in short, we used to say it as, so that it is this protocol actually defines the way how your messages should be formatted and should be sent from one place to another. Now that is not the purpose of you just have to send your message, but Internet Relay Chat IRC protocol looks for it that the message should be formatted in that way and should reach to the chat server. So what actually happens while chatting, that a person will send a message from here. It will first go to the chat server. They will see the IP address and to which it belongs to, or to which do you want to send it, with which you are communicating. So then that message will be sent to that particular person. So in this way, this one process like receiving and sending becomes a one particular session of chatting. Now, once it is created, no matter how much do you talk, that is one session created for your chatting. So every time a person connects with another person, there is a chat window or chat room has been created for that. So there is a chat window connected to that. So this is what your chat actually says, that whenever you will be sending hi, hello, any messages, It will go from here to your chat server, and then from chat server it will be sent to that specific person. Every single chat is considered to be as a thread over here. That means so many people even can chat with one another at the same time. So that would be like multiple threads or multiple chat sessions at the chat server. This is all about chat. You can always write in your own language about chatting what actually is. The main purpose is that they send a message from here to chat server. Chat server will create a chat room or a session for you all and will send the message to the another person. That session will be alive till the time you both will communicate with one another. As they will terminate the session, the as you say bye or will end the conversation, the chat session will also get terminated from here, and there will be no more chat session existing over there. As and when new person will come in, new chat session will be created. Each chat session has been referred to be as a thread over here at the server. That one thread is running, two thread is running. So similarly, there can be multiple threads. That means multiple chat rooms or chat sessions can be created for chatting with one another. Main thing you should remember is the protocol used for chatting is your IRC protocol. And the softwares, like there are many softwares nowadays, like Amazon Messenger is used, WhatsApp is being used, and Facebook Messenger is there. So there are so many messages available for just chatting with one another. So that was your third application, which is your chat. The next application we have is our VOIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. So voice over Internet Protocol is nothing but when you make a video or audio conferencing call, that is because of your VoIP. So VoIP is especially your voice over Internet Protocol. That means when you are calling from using internet, like if I am WhatsApp calling is there, that is because of your VoIP service. So VoIP is nothing but it is a technology that allows us to make voice calls using a broadband internet connection instead of a regular phone line. So if you call from a regular phone line, that will not be considered as a VoIP, but if you use internet services to call another person, that will be your VoIP. That's what I'm telling, like WhatsApp calling is there, Facebook calling is there, so that's your VoIP service. What actually VoIP is doing is, what is its main functionality? That VoIP services converts our voice into a digital signal. Generally, when we speak, our voice is into the form of waves. That means it is in the form of analog signal. But when VoIP services are used, it converts our analog signal into the digital signal. So our voice travels in the form of digital signals that travels over the internet. And if we are calling a regular phone number, the signal is converted to a regular telephone signal before it reaches to the destination. So that's the same as modem works, like analog to digital, digital to analog. Similarly, VoIP is a protocol which is also used for the same, for converting analog signal to digital while traveling into the medium. And again, then this digital signal to analog signal at the receiving end. Whenever the call is being received, again it converts it into the analog form so that we can hear the voice what they are saying. It can allow us to make call directly from a computer or a special VoIP phone. In addition, wireless hotspot in locations such as airports, parks, cafes allows us to connect to the internet and may enable us to use VoIP service wirelessly. So nothing is there, just it is a simple way of communicating, just using the technology like internet will be your voice. So voice over internet protocol, as the word is itself suggesting that whenever you talk using internet, that means the calling is done using internet, then that is considered to be as a VoIP. That means you're using VoIP services. Now what is the function of VoIP protocol is that it converts the analog signal. Like if I'm speaking something, that is like in analog signal will be passed. So that converts our analog signal to digital. Since in transmission channel, they are transferring into the digital bits. So they actually convert our analog signal into digital signal and traveling into the medium. And at the receiving end, they again convert that digital signal into the analog signal so that a person can at least understand what they are saying. So that is what the purpose of VoIP is. Coming on to its advantages, it is less cost. Since with using internet, you can do many another thing also except only this calling. It is accessible because nowadays internet is available at all the places. Even the railway stations are even having the Wi-Fi equipped with it nowadays. It is flexible, voice quality is good. That is a condition that your internet connection should be good for that. It is less expensive. It is obviously less expensive because the same thing, as less cost and less expensive are both the same thing, that along with your internet, there are many functions we can actually use, you can use over internet other than VoIP services. So you can use so many things together at the same amount. Disadvantage is that it is overall dependent on your internet connection. If your internet is down, you cannot use your voice services. So there should be a disadvantage is that your internet connection should be there and it should be a reliable one, that it doesn't go every time down. Power outages, that means if you're using, that would be the case anywhere, because if the device is not charged, you cannot use your internet. So in that case, if the device is not charged, internet connection is not there, that would be a big disadvantages for VoIP, that is your voice over internet protocol. Now I'll go through some of the protocols which have been used for VoIP. So before going on this, services provided by the VoIP, services is nothing but you can just mention it in your own points that what all applications nowadays are using VoIP. Like if I talk about Zoom, they are also using VoIP because we can just communicate with one another. Audio conferencing it can be done using it. If we talk about Facebook, that can also be considered as your VoIP. So Skype is also a VoIP service. So there are so many applications which are actually using it. The services provided by VoIP, you can actually mention all the services which are being used for providing your VoIP. Now there are some protocols, two protocols which we are going to discuss for VoIP. One is your session initiation protocol. So session initiation protocol is nothing but it actually manages the session. That means it actually manages your outgoing of call, receiving of the call, and then how the call is being connected, management of the call. This is all done by your session initiation protocol. H.3.23 is one of the first VoIP call signaling and controls protocol that found widespread implementation. This both the protocols are almost used for the same purpose. They are in competition world, means they are competitive to one another. Before, when this both were launched almost together in 1994, but the people have generally actually accepted H.3.23 for your VoIP conversation. But nowadays, SIP is becoming more popular and SIP is taking over your H.323. Now, this both protocols are used only for your conversation. It could be audio or it could be video. But even for audio and video, the only difference between both of them is that they had been invented by a different company, and also this is working on your digital signal, whereas this works on your ASCII. That means the signals are converted into your digital signal, that is 0 and 1 bits, but here they are converted into your ASCII bits. So these are the two minor differences but are used almost for the same purpose. Now along with this too, there are some more protocols which are being used, which we are not going to discuss, but we will just have it once for our information. So the next we have is real-time transfer protocol. Transport protocol for real-time audio and video data. As we know that transport protocol or transport control protocol ensures that the data should reach to the another destination. Same purpose is even here also, because they both are used for initiating your call and terminating your call and managing your call. But in meanwhile, the signal transfer and all has been seen by all three, four of this. So one is your real-time transfer protocol, which looks for your real-time audio and video data. Then real-time transport control protocol. It's a sister protocol of RTP, providing stream statistics and status information. Secure real-time protocol used for the security purpose, and description protocol used for actually writing the file format, how is this signals has been passed, all the details about how the VoIP has processed for that particular protocol. So in a way it stores all the details. So these are few of the protocols. Okay, we are running out of the time. So tomorrow we will discuss this H.32 and SIP. That's all for this chapter. And be ready with your journals tomorrow. Saturday is a holiday.